So anyway, I was here when I was 16. I was also here with a friend of mine, Jeff Beck, to see the Yardbirds play here in the university. And I just happened to be there the night that the band imploded and the bass player left. I'd been a studio musician at this point. I was a studio musician for 3 years. But at that point I came out, and they had the Marquee Club to play in London, and they didn't have a bass player. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just fill in for the night and see how it goes. And Jeff and I had spoken prior to that about starting a band anyway. Well, actually starting a band, but actually joining in with the Yardbirds. And there was the opportunity. So I think with these things in life, these opportunities come along and you see them. Sometimes you think an opportunity is there, but the timing isn't right. You haven't got all the pieces to puzzle together. But at that point, for me, it was because I'd done a 3-year term, if you like, as a studio musician, and that was working 5-6 days a week. But it really became an apprenticeship for me, because I've said I started to play the guitar from looking at somebody on the television and listening to records. But by the time I finished being a studio musician, I learned a lot. I made it my business to learn how to read music, also how to record with the microphone placing, the whole science of microphone placing, and also being a musical arranger and producer. So by the time all of that apprenticeship had been served, and suddenly the opportunity came up to join the Yardbirds, I knew that was the time to go. Because the thing that happened prior to going to see the band play with my friend Jeff, because I'd seen a few other concerts as well with them, but I'd become such a accepted part of the musical tradition and one of the backroom boys, that I was getting these big sheafs of music. Well, actually, when I first started doing sessions, they just said, play what you like, because I had the same roots as the sort of bands that were around, like the Stones and the Beatles. And I could just sort of put in riffs, and this was great fun. But just prior to this sort of hiatus with the session world, there was these huge scores of reading music, and basically what it was what they call Muzak, which is lift shaft music, and it was just hell, you know. I'd introduced a distortion box into the world of music, and I was playing the guitar with a bow, and I had all these ideas that I wanted to do, and I'm playing Muzak. No, there's something wrong with that story. So, so then there was the Yardbirds, and then eventually there was Led Zeppelin. So they imploded a second time, but this time I wanted to start a band, and this is again the opportunity was there. You either sort of will go down another route altogether, or you follow what you believe is your passion and what you've managed to understand with the climate of where you were as a musician.